We're live.
Pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend shot of brains, your friend.
All right, party people. What is up, party people? And hello, my friends. It's your girl, welcome to China. And welcome to the Nightcap Crew.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend shot of brains, your friend.
You know how we do it every week. We are here, and it is our 6th week special. We have made it all the way to 6 weeks of the Nightcap Crew. So a special thank you to every panelist who has been here in one way, shape, or form at one point. But hey, these are the finalists. We've all made it to the island, so we are here. But today, you guys, we're going to be having a special episode of the Nightcap Crew. We have a special guest. But before I introduce you, and you can guess who that is, I'm going to go ahead and get to the old hoes, the old scallywags, our usual crew, the ones you love to love and sometimes love to hate. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got Miss Livy Rose 97.
Hi. Happy to be an official staple member of the Nightcap Crew. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me at Livy Rose 97 on TikTok and Instagram if you guys like fun, goofy content from your girl.
Thank you, Miss Livy Rose. All right, Danielle.
What is up, hooligans? The host of the Red Flag Collectors here. Season 1 just wrapped. It is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go give it a download. Season 2 is about to come at you quick and crazy.
Quick and crazy, y'all. So make sure if you're a hooligan here, make sure you are already hitting that subscribe. Make sure you guys are checking out the Red Flag Collectors on YouTube as well.
Yes, thank you for the inspo.
Don't forget.
All thanks to China.
Hey, we gotta have that visual content, y'all. So glad to have you, Danielle. JoJo F, say hello.
Hey everyone, my name's JoJo. I'm so excited to be here for the first time. I have makeup content on TikTok and Instagram, and both ats are JoJo F _6 times, so 6 underscores. 6 underscores. So make sure y'all put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit that shit button hard. Okay? All right. Hit it hard. Don't skip it. It might not pop up. All right, Tam, go ahead. Take us away.
Yo, it's everybody. It's Tam. Follow me on Instagram at goddamnTam _goddamnTam. And also follow the House of Berry. I'm glad to be one of the old hosts on the show. Can't wait for tonight's show.
All right, we back in here. We in here like swimwear. Q Swab, take us away.
What up, guys? Q Swab here, your favorite Detroit artist, man. Just please follow me at Q Swab at all platforms. Shout out to the Nightcap Crew because we here in live and effect again. And it's
we here. Your favorite rapper that you don't know yet. That's what we love to hear.
Let's do
My
it.
dog. All right, Fit, go ahead and wrap us up for the crew.
What's good, y'all? Thanks for tuning in again this week. Go follow me on IG, Fit Hollywood 6 to get right.
All right, make sure to get right because summer is in full effect. Make sure you guys are checking out those workout videos because we got to get in shape. All right, Mr. Jonathan Carson, we have our special guest today. Everybody give a hand jive, a hand something. No clapping, too much feedback, a little something. John, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where to find you and where you want us to find you.
Thank you all for the hand jobs there. My name is John or Jonathan. You can find me pretty much across the board at Hello, My Name's John. And I make TikToks. I'm on YouTube, all the things.
All right. So make sure you guys check out John and all of his content again across the board, a true content creator. So without further ado, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into our very first topic of the night. So it's been a couple things going on in social media, but I said today the perfect time and the perfect place for us to get into these things is here. We're all social media in some type, way, shape, or form. We all use social media in some way, shape, or form, and we all take it kind of serious. I would think so. We try to for the most part. But it is a downside to social media. So that's going to be our theme of today. The upsides, the downsides, how they affect us, people around us, our mental health, our relationships. So let's go ahead and get into it. The very first relationship that was being affected that I saw this week was Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin, Hailey Bieber. Now, a lot of you maybe not have seen this. Now, I really be deep in the tea. But it was a video of Justin Bieber for the umpteenth time yelling or doing some type of aggressive gesture at his wife, Hailey Bieber. Now, me as China, and I do content creation and commentary, I have my opinions on Hailey Bieber, but I'm gonna leave those aside and let's go ahead and look at this before I get to the question. So the video's quick. You're like trying to, what the hell am I looking at? Now, it seems as if Justin, and I'm going to play it again, is talking to Hailey in an aggressive manner. People think he's cussing her out, basically. So let's watch again. So that's Bieber. He just going over. He's like, yeah. So Justin Bieber's fans were basically, saying, I think that he's just being passionate. I think that that's just Justin. But now it's been an uproar to the point where Hailey had to come out today and defend Justin and her relationship, say they had a good weekend after his first show back in Vegas. And now it's been trending a multitude of videos of Justin Bieber being, i.e., trigger warning, abusive towards Hailey Baldwin. So just so we can get a whole grand scheme of this, I'm going to pull my screen one more time before I get everyone's opinion and show you what social media is saying that Justin Bieber is doing to his wife. It is a bunch of different compilations of Justin Bieber and Hailey. So let's look at this.
Long time ago.
We were working alongside doctors leading up to the tour to make sure that, he was doing everything necessary and safe for that, and we'll just keep doing that. But it definitely is, it sucks that the tour was
Just answered. She was asking me. Huh?
Anyways.
They were asking me because it's my Lyme disease. It's not your Lyme disease. Are you worried about my Lyme disease?
Well, I was helped, in every freaking day, been the doctor with you for months. So
Yeah, but
sometimes
they
you
asked if I was scared about the Lyme disease because I'm the one that has it.
Right, but I didn't say that. I just was saying that you were taking all the necessary.
Listen to me, woman. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's the attitude.
Just messing with you.
You got a rough bow. I like your bow.
Thanks, babe.
You look cute.
Thanks.
And your little earrings.
Big earrings.
You can't tell that this is see-through. It's see-through.
You can't even see it.
I know. You're a naughty girl.
Okay. This is so awkward. I feel so awkward.
You just feel so, super awkward. Just talk to him.
Would I have to stop this in order to
Yes. Stop it for what? Hello?
to ask Kalia where she's at?
Just text her.
But would it stop the whole thing?
Who knows?
Am I on top of this person too much? Is he sick of me? It's like, because then.
Just honest, babe. I can't. Don't touch me right now. Not right now, but I'm just.
I thought you were being serious.
No. Just in general.
Got me in chairs, but my hands are.
Does this look like a playground to you? This is a studio workplace, and you're disrupting me. That is not cool.
I still get nervous with her in the room for some reason. I'm gonna be done in 30 minutes. We're gonna go and eat. You wanna just go back? And I was basically getting her out of the studio so I could finish this. I don't wanna make her feel bad about it. I had to plan a dinner and I didn't have a dinner.
All right. I think we got a zhuzh. I think we got a gist. I think we got a little bit of flavor. So let's go ahead and open this up because we wouldn't have our eyes on this if they were not, she wasn't a huge model and Justin Bieber was not Justin Bieber. Now we're going to be talking about the effects of social media. So let's talk about your opinions on Justin and Hailey Bieber and what you've seen. This is open. It's not a question. It's just for comments, place concerns, or people, because everyone in the comments, we have a few different opinions in our comments right now saying Justin's being aggressive. Justin always has been a wild boy. We know this. But are we just in too much of their business or what's going on? We all are in some type of social media. We all have shown people, maybe we've not, To me, I feel like we are probably digging a little bit too deep in it, but I know that Justin Bieber still got that side to him. So that's my 2 cents. Danielle, take us away.
Yeah, so I think that little video compilation that someone had made, it's reaching. I think it is reaching. It seems like they have like, I mean, yeah, like some of the things, like he was kind of a dick, but it seems like they were just like joking around and like roasting each other kind of. And by roasting each other, I mean he was roasting her. But like I do think that that video of them walking in Vegas, like he's not like passionate, like that was a look of like anger, like his face was all red. But I think this like overall compilation, like I think that was a reach. Like, yeah, he might just be a douche.
So you're thinking that the video of him leaving and walking out in Vegas of him like this, you think that in particular, maybe he had been upset or not, just off the stage, like hyped up? Because they say it's a hype up.
No, he was like red in the face. He looked like mad, not like hyped up, like woohoo, like that was so awesome. That was like he was saying something that wasn't very nice. You can tell.
True. That's very true. That's very true. He was definitely getting into something, but it's like it's so subjective. I feel it's like, how do we know it's either at Haley or it's at what happened on stage or anything? So it's just it's touchy. I feel, but they're using the word of abuse, which is like.
No, that montage was just like him kind of being a dick, but I think that's a reach.
That's just okay. All right, so we're reaching. John, how you feeling about this? You do social media, you have relationship. How does this work for you? How do you feel about this? Is this too much? How you feel about this?
I definitely think it's a reach for sure. I mean, we're taking like, how long was that clip? Like maybe 8 seconds from Twitter. So we're taking like an 8-second clip that we don't quite know the context of, and people freely throwing the word abuse around. I mean, again, I don't know the situation, but none of us really know the situation. I think that's also a testament to not just like social media, but being a celebrity as a whole, just kind of having all these eyes on you, and you can take 8 seconds of a situation that you know nothing about and paint like a whole story, and then put a compilation together of like things that can, you can kind of twist the story whatever way you want it. But I think, we don't know they're like, when the cameras aren't there, like, and they're just home together, we don't know the chemistry they have. We don't know how they act together. But yeah, I mean, I get that Justin Bieber has.
I feel like it's a lot of sweet moments that just would be normal couple moments that wouldn't be interesting to the public, maybe, and that they're just not going to be like, oh, we seen Justin give Haley a kiss on the head. We gonna pay attention to him, coming up at her. So maybe it's just the point in the time and social media and timing.
Yeah, and I mean, people get bored too on social media. When nothing's going on, you're looking for something.
And this was his first show. So, people was all up in their face. They was all worried about what was going on. So, all right. So we still are on the same wave. Livy Rose, how you feeling about this?
So honestly, I think some of it, like, he kind of is a little bit like passive aggressive, but I think also part of it is mixed with timing in the media, like you said, and how the media is so quick to catch people and celebrities in their bad moments. So I think it could be a mix of both. Like, couples have hardships and arguments and stuff like that. And could be just, they were having a discussion or he was talking about something that upset him to her. You know what I mean? And not necessarily because of her or because he was mad at her or whatever it may be. But it makes me think about like the Selena stuff and like stuff that like she said about like his temper, and it kind of shows. So it's like, is he? And I feel
like definitely Justin probably has that side to him. I think that it's so hard to say, what goes on, but I'm sure he gets passionate. I'm sure he gets angry and upset, I'm sure all these things. But they're just married. And for me, I've been a Justin Bieber fan forever. And for Justin Bieber to pick someone as his wife, that's a big deal. So I would hope that they are really into it for real. Because
Some
this
of
is
it that
something
I've seen has upset me, like specifically, like I've seen video footage of like him like getting out of the car and like she's right behind him
Oh,
and
he
he
shut the door on her.
shut the door without letting her out. I think
You
that's
shut the door on her. He's walked in places, so you can definitely tell though when they're on the out.
yeah, that's not okay in my mind.
And also, part of being a celebrity, I feel like we just gotta still. We're gonna put on that face, whether it's right or wrong. But I think he should know better, even if you're on the outs. Like this is not good
I feel
for the
like
brand.
he tries to and like he pushes back at her a little bit.
Yeah, and I think her personality is different, way different than Justin's. She seems like she's a lot more meek, a lot more soft spoken, and it's Justin Bieber. Like we know how he gets down. So I think what I'm saying. All right, Tam, take us away. How you feeling about this? I see a lot of head movements over there.
I agree a lot with what Jonathan said as far as, I mean, social media picks what they want to pick in that compilation. You know, you see what you want to see, and then they'll let you see what they want to see. And you don't know the dynamic of their relationship, so I kind of feel like using the term abuse is kind of going too far. Yeah, he has moments where he could be a total asshole. I mean, don't we all? But again, she does seem like she's very like, you know, quiet and laid back. So him being more of the aggressive type, you know, it could seem like maybe he's on her neck a lot. But again, we don't know. And there are a lot of moments in relationship that we are not proud of. And sometimes paparazzi and things like that catches those bad moments because they want you to see the negative light on that, but we don't know the good stuff that happens in a relationship. So it's kind of hard to tell. And in that 8-second clip, it did look like he was red, but again, he just did his show in Vegas. He could have been hyped. He could have been just red. He could have been just talking to her like, you know, that was a great.
You know, they was trying to say he was maybe off the cocoa or something. They were saying maybe he was just hyped up.
Hyped up, right? So you just never know because that clip was so fast. So we don't know what they was talking about. None of that. So I kind of do feel like it was a reach, but I mean, again, we don't know their relationship.
We don't know what's going on. All right, Jocelyn, JoJo. Hold on. Let me unmute you. Wait, go ahead. I can't hear you. Hold on. Go out and come back in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tap into Q. Q, go ahead. How you feeling about this? You got a woman, you a rapper, you are an entertainer, you got off a show, somebody got a video of you, you know, out here. What's going on?
I mean, it's social media. Like no matter the situation, good or bad, people are gonna like assume what they want to. I mean, we could talk about the mannerisms and like the characteristics of like him looking kind of angry or whatever we want to assume. Like at the end of the day, it's not our business. Truly, and we love his music. If you don't, you don't. So like, you know, you just kind of just ignore it. Honestly, to be honest, so it is what it is. Like, you know how people talk, but I'm not like a.
You letting it be. You saying just let them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know too much about Justin Bieber. I just know like he's just a great entertainer. So like,
okay,
he could be an asshole like any other like rich person. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay, so you stay neutral in it.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, take us home.
Yeah, so like that clip, that like compilation clip, that like upset me a little bit because they literally took moments from like just them being on live or whatever they were doing, and like John said, like created like a whole narrative, and that's twisted. Like that's sick because like, yeah, he seemed like he can be an asshole sometimes, but like at the same time, it also looked like it was within the dynamic of their relationships at times too. Like they were laughing and stuff too. Like he would say something kind of arrogant or asshole-ish, and then they would just both laugh. It seems like it kind of happens a lot. And at the same time, it's like I mean, it's really just twisted because it's like also he's been going through this his whole life, so you probably really never know how much it has really affected him like in the long haul. So he's probably got some PTSD just from all of this just in general, and he's trying to figure out how to deal with it and trying to mess with it. I'm not saying he's right for how he handles himself, but again, like you said, it's none of our business, but he's an entertainer, so it's gonna be out there. But yeah, as far as like how they try to twist and turn what these celebrities do, they're humans. They have bad moments. Like I'm not a fan of it.
So you're gonna let him slide.
I mean, I really didn't see anything to let slide from that video compilation. Like, okay, the first one is like he looks pretty upset about something. Like he does look pretty upset about something. Now he's screaming in that video. But if you've ever been in a relationship, and especially as a guy, who do you vent to more than anybody? Probably your girl. Like if something pissed him off, then he telling her.
I feel like he was like I just feel like he got off the show in Vegas and he was just hyped. Or maybe he's like, this went good, or this went like I don't know. I don't know. We see Justin Bieber hang out with rappers, trappers. He get down to get down. So we know how Justin Bieber get down. So that's what I'm saying. Like seems Bieber-esque to me. Take it or leave it.
I'm not. I mean, yeah, just from those clips, I'm not on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. Yeah, this is a different situation.
This is a guy who was doing push-ups like in the hood with like 12 black people. So that was amazing. that clip lives in my head rent free for sure. Like I don't know about you guys.
Justin Bieber get down, as everyone said. Okay, all right. Talking about he hoops. Okay,
he's a great guy.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. We gave Bieber and Haley enough. Social media ruins relationships. Do you agree or disagree with this phrase, and why? JoJo, take us away. Social media ruins relationships. Agree or disagree?
Is my mic working?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, cool. All right. I definitely think that it does play a part in insecure relationships, ending insecure relationships. People who necessarily haven't gotten over the fact that social media, you're so readily accessible to people who don't even know you, and inboxing you, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, like literally anybody can find you, add you, and say anything to you.
So that's an agree?
I would say agree.
So you're saying with you agree?
Yeah.
But your 2 cents is ultimately why?
Because of the way that you're accessible to people. It's not how it was on like MySpace necessarily, where somebody had to like know you to find you. Like nowadays, all somebody needs is your first and last name, depending on how you run your socials.
Okay. But that's fine. Let's say this, they can find you, cool. But does that mean it's temptation, or let's go into that deeper layer?
Yeah, there's definitely temptation with certain people. I wouldn't say like on my end, I get that temptation for myself, but I know that there is temptation for men and women. And when people, someone attractive messages you and they seem like this life that they put on their Instagram or whatever it may be, usually Instagram, is all lux, and you're like, oh, okay, well, they're better than what I have. So, people think like, oh, because of the way that social media is perceiving, like people are perceiving themselves on social media, that they're one type of way, when, they're just looking for the next best thing basically, versus like fixing their relationship or, being happy in their relationship. It's, a way to
So you feel like we just go to our phone. Like I just go to my phone and look at something else, or I go to my phone and see whatever I need to see.
Yeah, so people just, relationships, I guess, couples, depending on, their status or whatever, when you're arguing with your boyfriend or girlfriend and you're like, well, man, fuck him, fuck her, and I'm just going to go message back Timmy, John, and whoever, in my inbox, because they're treating me, better, when in reality, it's just kind of all like a mixed, like
it's like a mixed bag.
Yeah.
So. It depends. Now, let's go ahead and chime onto this, John. Now, let's say we're those percentage of people who don't give into the social media and the people who are trying to reach out to us. I feel like I'm in a relationship. I have social media. People obviously are going to slide in DMs, whatever. I just ignore them. It is what it is. I don't even open that bag of worms. Is it disagreeable then? Would we still disagree if they get ruined if we have self-control, John? Let's talk about that.
I would say I disagree that social media ruins relationships. I think if it's something like that that is going to ruin the relationship, then I think social media is just kind of shining a light on the cracks of it. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like
it magnifies it. It magnifies it. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That would be like the catalyst to then take down a relationship that may not have been built to last. If not social media, then like what else would it have been? A night at the bar where somebody looks at somebody some type of way. But I can definitely see where you're coming from, where it's like the easier access to people. But I think if you're not happy and like stable in a relationship, then maybe, and social media is ruining the relationship, then maybe it's kind of doing you a favor in a sense.
So it's already there. So
Yeah,
if you're gonna be peeking.
That's what I was kind of saying about like insecure relationships, not necessarily people who are already secure in their relationship, you know, and I'm doing this as a job, but just insecure relationships and broken people, I guess.
Social media will seep into all your broken cracks. Yeah. Who else want to chime in on this? Let's go ahead and get it going. Who else got something? Danielle, go ahead.
I just like raised my hand like I was in school. It's fine.
It was easy. We knew it was you.
Yeah, so I kind of see where both JoJo and John are coming from. I would have to agree with John that I don't think it ruins relationships, but something that's very interesting on this end is that it does allow kind of cheating to be a lot more accessible. I've talked to a ton of people about that. It's like mainly Snapchat, and now that Instagram has that like vanish mode. Where you
Facebook
can like
has it too,
you can like pull up on your DMs and it makes them go away like Snapchat. And I think that it definitely kind of gives people the availability to like go in and be talking to other people. I mean, I think if it doesn't necessarily ruin the relationship, the social media part, but it allows people to go in and ruin their own relationship.
So they seeping into the cracks. So you already coming into the relationship foul or faithful. And so if you foul, it's going to get more foul. If you're faithful, it's going to get more faithful. But I know for a fact that it is, in my mind, in China's mind, for me, nobody who slides in the DMs is going to be anybody worth mention. If you're going to slide on my DMs back in the day when I was a hot girl, then I would have already known you, or you have heard of me, or I know you mutually or something. So it's not going to be some random old weird guy. I don't know, give or take. But it's still a specific type of person, so that was nothing that I looked for. But being in a relationship, I don't look at my DMs because I don't think that it's positive to look and open that bag of worms. I can be the most faithful person in the world, but people are still people, and human nature is still human nature. And that's why I'd be a stickler to people like, let's talk like we're humans. Let's talk about human nature. Let's be ourselves. So that's why I'm still like, I think that, I will say now, I think I'm kind of leaning towards it will ruin the relationship if you let it. But it's definitely makes it more difficult for sure. And I think we have to still give people some slack. It makes it much harder. I can still be the most faithful being. And maybe, I don't know, somebody just keep sliding in. I want to be with you. People looking for the next thing. People want to date up. People looking for the next hot thing. So people do be on that same time. Tam, let's talk about it.
I definitely agree with Jonathan, because I feel like I'm not going to personally let no social media ruin my relationship. I feel like you are coming into stuff and you're looking for outside, people to talk to. And then I also feel like, in this day and age, we kind of put all of our business out for social media to see. And I feel like sometimes we do see couples that have these couple YouTubes, and sometimes they're good for a long run, and then next thing you know, something happens and they're not together. Now they beefing over the internet. So it's like, I feel like, you got to be like what you put out there for the world to see.
It's the comments, because Justin and Haley probably had to have a conversation about why you can't talk to me like this in public,
right?
Because it looks like this, and then it's always that conversation having to come up,
right? Because then they're gonna see these comments and they're gonna have certain people, saying like, do I really do this and things like that. You kind of bring up stuff that may make it uncomfortable, but I just feel like you shouldn't let social media ruin your relationship. But yeah.
All right, so don't let it ruin it, but it will, because I've seen some foul shit on Facebook. Livy Rose, let's talk about it.
I don't think it necessarily ruins relationship as much as people use it as a tool to ruin relationships.
Okay.
I think social media is just this one big tool that people use, and it can be a bridge in a sense to communication and other people. And like Danielle said, people can now like hide their conversations with other people and be sneaky
Be
and
more messy.
be more messy about it. But that's not necessarily because of social media, that's because of the people using it.
But let's talk about this. DM sliding is a whole avenue of dating in itself.
Yeah. I mean, I would say so, but I mean, if you're with somebody and you're going into somebody else's DMs and you have ill intention, like that's the person, like that's their sick mind and not necessarily the social media itself. Because I mean, your Instagram can't cheat on you. So
Period.
The people in the DMs are bold. Let me tell you, they are fucking bold.
Zachariah said he slid in Jonathan's DMs. Let's talk about it.
That
John, chime in. Is this true?
Yes, that's my boyfriend, and he did slide into my DMs.
Okay, this is a way of modern dating.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean that's how it happened. It's like a 2019 Cinderella story.
So beautiful.
We gonna get into that the 2019 Cinderella story before it got messy. Let me tell you. But we don't look in the DMs no more. After you find somebody in the DMs, we keep them out. Q Swap, you make music. You have a beautiful lady. You know how this shit go. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I can't like agree. I can't like agree on social media itself ruining relationship. I agree with like everyone so far. You guys have made amazing points. It is truly based on the person. I feel like like it just exposes that person and their intentions. I mean, truly, I don't know. Like I can't really like understand the. I guess I don't know the carelessness of social media nowadays. Like, I guess a lot of people are using it as like identity more than like a tool. Like Liv said, like it does help you and it can like destroy you at the same time. So people
because you can use it for dating now. It's not just for social and to show things off. People use it now to get their loins going. It's all stems to get free, desire. It's all sex. Let's talk about it. It's all sex. Like that's all that we see is it's all everything becomes sexual in some manner.
True. There's so many different apps. There's apps for dating, apps for meeting other musicians, like apps for meeting the same race. Like it's like it's interesting how like where like people will use that in order to get to know someone. And I miss like going outside and knocking on someone's door and asking like, yo, trying to come outside. Like I wish we could go back to talking on the phone and being way more like direct with each other because so much stuff gets misconstrued through social media. Like anyway, so like it's just annoying to me.
And a lot of the time, something else, I'm like, we have a lot of other avenues to talk to people than having to talk to each other face to face. You can video chat, you can text, you can, do all types of stuff. And I think that really takes away, like, really having serious conversations and important conversations. Fit, Hollywood 6, let's talk about this. Agree or disagree?
I'm gonna agree with this one. Social media does ruin relationships, but
strongly agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna strongly agree because it's like I'm not more so looking at the direct effect of social media, like per se sliding in DMs and things like that, but the indirect things like, okay, are you trying to you talk about human nature, and I love that you talk about human nature. What do humans love to do? They like to compare things. You hear Michael Jordan, Kobe. You hear that type of stuff all the time.
LeBron, the same deal, yes.
We hear it all the time, and I think subconsciously, even when we don't even realize it, we're contrasting, comparing what we have to what others have, and then it's crazy because it's all a facade. Like most people are putting up a facade on social media, whether it be for the better or for the worse, but it's a lot of it is a facade, and then you constantly contrasting and comparing yourself to what the other person is doing. it makes you think that you're not doing enough, or maybe your relationship isn't where you want it to be, and then you subconsciously are looking for something else. You don't even know it. You don't even realize it till maybe you done got something else, and you realize it ain't what
You
it
open
cracked
that
up to
can
be.
of worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just really think it's the grand scheme of what social media has become, because like you said, it's a lot of sex. Like sex sells. It's very crude on social media. So I just think subconsciously that's what it's going to become and what it has became. And I would say yes.
All right. So we ended with a very strong yes. We had a couple it depends. We had a couple it depends on the situation. We need some more context. But ultimately, I feel like what we've all agreed on is it really depends on the individual as a person. But social media, we're going to acknowledge, does not make it easier, we will say.
Yeah.
All right, it's temptation. All right. On that note, if you guys are still here, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you are checking out the Nightcap Crew every week. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell ding. If you are here, we have a decent amount of people here, so I hope that we get some likes up. Get the likes up and make sure you subscribe. Next thing on the docket for the Nightcap Crew.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot of brains, your friend.
Is the right time to post your significant other on social media? For me, I think it very much so depends, but also I think it depends on the brand as well. My brand very much so changed. When I posted my boyfriend, I lost a lot of subscribers. I lost a lot of Instagram followers because it's your brand. A lot of celebrities, they get relationships, they don't like you to see. It either helps or hurts your brand. So when you're thinking about social media wise, a lot of the time it hurts. But do I care? No. Does it make that big of a difference? No. Do you weed out all the negativity and the people who gonna slide and be nasty? Yes. But it does affect your social media. But when is the right time to post someone? For me, I think in the 6 to 8 month range, and I think as much as seriousness, we would have to be boyfriend and girlfriend officially. Like, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, and then from there on. And then I think that's when I feel comfortable. Time-wise, I think that's where I'm at the 6 to 8 months. I think a year is kind of long. But I think you like to test the waters and show us something a little off. Let's go ahead and get into that. Finn, how about we start with you now? When's the right time? Do we not? How does this work? How long has it been?
Man, so that's an intriguing question because it's partially like you said, when you feel as if it's gonna be a serious relationship, because you don't want to post somebody and then it's like, oh damn, we broke up 2-3 months later. That sucks. Then you have to go back and clean that. It is. You gotta go back and clean that shit up. And
it's like, we posted it too much. No, we do like holidays. We're not doing all that now. Yeah.
Yeah, but even still, like people be looking for that. People be looking for that. They be waiting for you to slip up or waiting for the other person to slip up and you be free, and then they see it, and then you in other people's group chats and all that. Like, it sucks. So it's like, I like the time range you said within that 6 months. That's solid. But at the same time, I'm getting to the point where it's like, I don't want a relationship to be like a secret, but I want it to be private.
But social media does matter in these ways, correct?
It do. It really do.
So let's talk about it. Now let's adjust our old millennial minds to say that social media matters. Because everybody want to act like it don't matter. You ain't got to post me. It matters.
It do.
Unless you don't have social media, it matters. Do you agree?
No, it do.
Okay. All right.
Even with I want to comment on one other thing you said with the social media, as far as like artistry and just being a creator as well.
When you're a curator, it also affects your business and your brand.
It absolutely do. And I actually had that conversation.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I actually had that conversation with my little special lady, because it was like I was trying to
explain.
My
little Betty, she's my little boo thing.
You feel me?
She don't want to see you over there. Fit Hollywood says, he over here rapping behind the car, bro. That's what I'm. Oh man, I can't. That's what I'm saying. I don't date people in entertainment. I don't date entertainers, bro. And
she had a whole verse.
No man, she gets it, but still, you the one. She my little boo thing. All right.
She had a whole verse though.
What was the conversation? What's the conversation? Because I'm gonna find out. I'm about to ask her.
It basically started with like a lot of this is entertainment. Like even on the first show, like technically on a technicality, I was single, but and I said that, but it's entertainment, you know, like it's entertainment. Like I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want to see for the most part. I'm gonna entertain y'all, and that's what it's supposed to be. But I know what I got at the crib. I know what I got at home.
Don't
like,
y'all be sliding on
you
Fit
feel me?
Hollywood 6. If I find out, I will blast y'all on the Nightcap Crew. Don't
Oh
be
my
nasty.
soul, China said
Don't be
it.
nasty. Don't be nasty. John, take it away from us. How are we feeling about this? I see your social media. You got your boo thing on there. But how long does this take? How does this work? And let's talk about it for not just the straights and the cisgenders. Let's just talk. How does that work? Do it matter? Is it different with men? Is it different when you're in a career relationship? Let's talk about it. Or do we have those same? Is it just human nature?
I don't know like what the right time is. I
Okay.
feel like, and I don't want to get corny or sappy, but I feel like if you know, you know, like there are people, and I know I follow a handful of them that are like fine with posting their semi-continuous hookups or like the fuck boys that they've been hanging out with in the summer, and that's fine. But like if we're talking a significant other in a real relationship, I don't know. But I feel like if you are in a relationship for, let's say, over 6 to 8 months and that person has still not posted you, that's like, I mean,
Do
as
we
much
have
as-
to ask them first, or do it matter? Is it like saying I love you, or who kisses who first? Like, how do we know? Like, do we bring it up, or be like, we're gonna post each other at the same time, or holidays? Come on, open the burrito. Open the
Holidays.
burrito. Come on.
See, I don't know. I feel like maybe
How
that
did it
would be
go
a
for
conversation.
you? What was your mindset? What was your mindset?
Say that again.
What was your mindset? How did it go for you in your relationship?
Well, my boyfriend does a lot of stuff in social media, so I never wanted, and he has his own like brand and stuff, and I never was going to impose and be like, why aren't you posting me? Like I feel like in this unique situation I would never be like that.
I feel like it gets touchy though when you do have a partner who has a substantial social media following or a substantial like business and social media, because it can come off as I'm trying to clout chase, or I'm trying to mooch onto what you got, or I'm trying to not make my own thing.
Oh, 100%. But I feel like had we not, like, if we did not actually know each other, like, to our core, I feel like that would have been rooted out.
So that was okay. So that was a different circumstance.
But I agree. I mean, like, what is that to other people? It's like, are you just talking to me to clout chase? What are you trying to get out of that? Especially because, like, you know, in this situation where I make content too, I would never want that to be a thing, but it's never been a thing.
People
But that
are
is a good
always
point.
thirsty about. I watched an episode of Dave. I don't know if anybody watches Dave on FX. Hi, I'm Dave. But Dave had an episode and he got pranked by these. Dave's best friend got pranked by like these two dudes that were supposed to be like the Paul brothers-esque. And he was just so embarrassed by the prank. But he realized that he started to get a bunch of social media followers. He got like 20,000, 50,000. And he was like, forget me being embarrassed. Like I like blew up. But it's like, what are we going to give and take for us to still like have our own? And, you know, it's tricky when you're in relationships with people who do what we do and create what we create. And when I went through acting school, I had a very infamous relationship when I was in acting school. For people who know. If you don't, you don't. It's none of your business. But I said I would never, ever, ever in my life, and everybody knows this who knows me, I would never date an actor ever in my life. Too much going on, too outgoing. It was just too much. So for me in social media, I like the complete opposite. My partner now is an engineer. It's about technicalities, math, all this stuff that I don't even understand. So I think it is a give and take when you are dating a social media and you're a content creator. Tam, let's talk about it. When's the right time?
Yeah, like I said, I don't see no difference in like straight or like relationships. I feel like, again, you would know, like, if you're ready to post your significant other online, but you also have those people that are kind of private and want to keep their relationship, outside of the social media, because then you have those nosy people that's going to try to follow them and try to keep up with your life. But again, like, I do like your 6 to 8 months. If you go over that time frame, and maybe you should have a discussion on like not even one picture, like, you know. But
so who posts who first, or like
I think it's a conversation. I think it's like
what if they don't use social media? Do you ever have a partner that don't use it a lot?
I mean, I never had a partner that didn't use social media a lot. So I mean, it was kind of a conversation between both of us. Like, hey, I think I'm ready to post you on social media. Is it like, do you want to do it together? I don't mind posting first and things like that. So
do you feel lame asking this question, like, we gonna post first, or
no? I don't.
Does it feel weird?
No, it doesn't feel real weird, because I mean, you have to ask and be respectful of your partner, because maybe they don't want to be out there, especially us as like, influencers and things like that. That could be a lot for a person that's not in that lifestyle. So it's like maybe they don't want to be posted because now they're gonna get hella.
They'll get all of that,
right? And they don't want that, and they want to stay out of the limelight. So you kind of have to have those conversations. Just to be
true.
Yeah.
My partner now is not in social media at all. Doesn't use Instagram. Last thing he posted was like 2018 before we met. Like, not into it at all. So for me, that was still a big adjustment of like me posting in different things in the way that you show me to love me. Because in his mind, like I like going there to like look and like look at things, but I never post. Like, I don't really use it because at one point I used it so much I don't use it a lot. Now, and the first person in my mind, like, I don't question my love or anything, but it's like, for me, that was an adjustment for me to be with somebody who didn't utilize social media or use it all the time like I do. Like somebody who just be on there sometimes, like a dad, like seriously. But it's fine. And again, I like starch differences. But Danielle, let's talk about it. You're a content creator. When do you post somebody with this ruin your brand? Like, let's talk about it. You fell in love. Like, do we not get to show the love to everybody else? Like, or what happens?
Yeah, so I think it's interesting for me, particularly because I do run like a dating and comedy podcast.
I really single is something that's still striving in this, because you can tell us different things. It's not messy. Okay.
Yeah. So my brand is just like these like weird like hookup and dating stories, and I kind of think that once you get a significant other, especially if you're in the content creation field, I know the same thing happened to Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy when she said that she had a boyfriend. Yes. People were like, what the fuck? Like, what is she doing?
Your whole brand. Your brand changes with your life.
Exactly. So I think for me right now, it's an interesting like situation. Like, I'm not like in a serious relationship with anyone. So I think that's fine for me. But I think when the time does come, it'll be interesting because it'll change like the brand of my show. I mean, I'll post like someone that I'm like talking to or like hooking up with like on my Snapchat, because like my Snapchat is like very much so like private, and there's only like I think I have like 100 people that I let see it. But on Instagram, like I have like 900 people on my personal one. I have X amount, I don't even know what it is, on the show. So I think putting something like that out there on like my like more public platforms kind of changes it. But even like I have the same issue if I post like I have a lot of guy friends. If I post one of my best guy friends, Mike, like I'll post him, like he'll be on my Instagram stories, he'll be like in my pictures, and like I'll get like a bunch of like texts or like messages being like, oh, is that your boyfriend? Who is that? And I'm like, no, like that's my dude. Like,
that's not bring like zhuzh maybe, or is that the wrong zhuzh and the wrong attention? Because still within relationships, it does bring a lot of good publicity. I mean, all publicity they say is good publicity. We're growing. But, does this like hold you back in any way or make you more apprehensive about relationships because of your brand? Like, or does it bother you or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like the commentary that's like uncomfortable and like awkward sometimes. Like, I recently had someone on my show that we have like a very strange like relationship bond, and I got like a lot of like weird comments about it from like various people. And I think it's honestly like it's tough in like that situation. Like, I am not with that person, but so many people like thought that I was, that it like made me uncomfortable that like people were saying these things.
Danielle is single. Please, whoever is asking, she is indeed single. I don't know in what way we're inquiring if you're single, general knowledge or whatever, but hey.
Oh man.
So Danielle is single and ready to mingle. All right. Jojo, when is the right time to post your significant other on social medias? Now, I know you personally, we're not going to get into that, but we know people be cutting up on the social medias and sharing way too much. But when is the right time if we find the right time?
So I would say like how you touched on the 6 to 8 months thing. So nowadays it's so like depending on, you know, if you're not even sure about the relationship, it's more like a talking stage. Like you could be in the talking stage for,
but we don't post until so
months,
you
depending on how quick you are like wanting to move, you know.
So talking stage, we're not posting.
Oh hell no. No.
Okay, so no matter if it goes on for 6 to 8 months,
we're not even girlfriend and boyfriend, then like
so girlfriend and boyfriend
anyways for one. So you know we got to make it out of even that stage in the first place. Like you have to be like serious, at least with me. Like you got to be like, yes, I'm your boyfriend, to even get like a tag on Snapchat or something like that. Like we're not even moving on to Instagram or Facebook yet. Like we got to be like 6 months in, like for sure dating. Maybe to get like a Facebook post or something, you know, like
Facebook, but you know that's when auntie, grandma, TT come through, Nana, you know that's like, yeah, so that's different.
Everything is so different. Like Snapchat's like real personal, close friends, you know.
Snapchat is like your private, like Instagram story. Let's take it. Come on, Snapchat.
So I'm gonna go to Instagram. Like Instagram, probably not, depending on. Like you got to probably be like my fiance or something, because for the most part, like this is my business page.
It's hard making it on her Instagram. So you influence, so it's hard making it on her page.
So like, you know, Olay isn't just gonna post their boyfriend on their business page. You know what I mean? Like that is my business page. That's my brand. That is, you know, what I'm trying to sell or market. You know, I'm not trying to market my relationship. And you know that brings into the problems of like social media, because then like are we gonna post, are we gonna not?
Oh yeah, you ain't posting no men on this page. Look at her. Ooh,
I'm sick. You
look at her. She ain't playing with nobody. If you guys don't know, she does makeup for a living, but you're a makeup artist and you do lashes. So like,
so why would I? You know, why am I gonna post just a boyfriend in the mix, especially like kind of early or something like that, early on? Like, you know, it's got to be something really serious. Even my ex, you know about my ex, obviously, because we're more personal friends, but. Even my ex of 3 years, I had never even posted on my business page. I used to have a separate personal page. So, you know, like that was kept completely separate. And even then, like it was still more, you know, I post you on Facebook, but you can get a tag on Facebook or something. I'll tag you in a meme or something. You know,
talk about a meme, someone's your tag, maybe they got. We don't even see those anymore on the active. All right, we don't even see that anymore. Okay, all right, Livy Rose, go ahead.
It looks so good. Okay, I do.
She be getting into it. You see, that's why she be trying to keep this a secret, bro.
Yeah. Oh God, I got distracted. What's the question? When is the right time? The right time for me personally, I think definitely we would have to be like dating, like official, and then from there, yeah, like 6-ish months, 8 months. It just depends. I mean, I used to be very posty in my past relationships, and I think that because of that, I wouldn't be as posty.
Okay. We're gonna hang on. We're gonna hang on to that. We're gonna hang on to this, and we're gonna go into our last. We're going to get into our last question. Do you share too much on social media, Livy Rose?
I think so sometimes, yeah. So I'm just going to make it real quick. Long story short, I have a mental illness called BPD. Sometimes I have episodes where I'm like a little bit too irrational.
Oh my God, she's mentally ill. Oh no. Let me stop. I am too. We turned her over. It's the mental illness. Let me stop playing. Because we talk about our mental illnesses all the time. I have GAD, generalized anxiety disorder. Shut up.
We got a Zoloft prescription over here. Let's go.
Everyone call out your medicines. Weed smokers, what's up? Okay, anyway. All right, we lost Libby Rose for a second. But anyway, let's go ahead, Danielle. Can you post too much online on social media?
Yes. Oh my God. I used to be so fucking annoying. So I am like going through kind of like a personal rebrand, I would like to say. And like I cleared out my Instagram the other day. I didn't fully clear it, but like I had like almost 700 posts. And like I went through and I was like, all right, bitch, like what are you posting? And I have like 200 and something now because it was every single picture I ever fucking took in college that I posted. But I think now, especially like that I've started my show, like I think like some stuff I've kind of realized like doesn't need to be like posted like all the time. And I think we might get into this later. So like stop me if I need to.
No, go ahead.
But,
We're finishing up. Go ahead.
And I think that it honestly, like your aesthetic, like some people get really focused on like how they present themselves. And like I caught myself recently because now that like I always want to like look like ready when I'm out and stuff because I feel like I've been trying to like build
that's a different because you're building your brand now. So then that's a different, it's two different worlds.
Right. And I think it kind of is like the downside of social media that like I literally got off an airplane and I was going to meet one of my friends at a bar. And I was just like I had gone to like a rave the night before. I was traveling all day and I was like, oh my God, I have to change and like literally do my makeup sitting, waiting to get picked up at the airport because like I can't go out looking so like mediocre. So I think it shows like the downside because you end up putting like a pressure on yourself to have this like look all the time. And I know like sometimes I come on here in Hagrid mode, which like happens, but like I think it has had like an impact. And one of my friends actually said something to me about it. And she was like, all right, bitch, like you don't like need to look Instagram ready all the time. Like you can go and just hang out with us.
But I still will question that because if we're going to post on Snapchat, if we're going to post on Instagram, if we're going to post anything on socials, just in case, if we pop out a camera, when we take on this role as being a content creator, curator, and influencer, I feel like it's a challenge for me as well. But I feel like sometimes we can't take advice from people who don't understand.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. So I have some friends that are in content, like you're super into content. My producer Jack is super into content, but some of my other friends aren't. So like, they don't understand where I'm coming from with that. And like, I might be like chilling at my friend's boyfriend's house, like looking like full hobo mode. And he thinks it's like funny to put it on his Instagram story or like Snapchat. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like that doesn't line up for me. Like, like our like close friends, like, I don't care if they like see me like in sweatpants, but like, I don't want you posting that on like Instagram when you have like a public page and like, you don't have a lot of followers, but people are still seeing it.
So
if I'm,
would
like,
you say something? Would you say
oh my
something?
God. I get pissed and like,
I don't say nothing. I just let it be, but I know if it's not mine, but see, I don't like Facebook tagging and all that. I actually am not a stickler, but that's interesting because more ways than one, I know I should be, but people are more so like you.
I get mad and it's like a conversation like him and I actually like need to have because he will post these pictures of me and I'm like, you like, don't do that. Like, I don't need you like the side angle from across the couch, like posting this like horrible thing of me. And I'm like a gremlin. Like I get pissed and like, I'm always like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, like, come on. We know I'm going to be famous. So you can't be posting ugly pics of me on your social media.
They will pull up. We're going to leave it at that. That's real because they will pull those pictures up. Q Swab, let's go ahead and chime on this. Can you ever share too much online? We're artists. We like to write. We get in our feelings. We love to overtweet and overshare sometimes. We get shady repostings. You know how I be. Can we ever share too much online?
Yes, indeed. I know I have like my moon is in Scorpio. Like I get out of hand sometimes.
Oh no!
Like it is what it is. Like I don't give a fuck, but I'm trying to learn to give a fuck because it's very important to I guess it depends like who you're trying to talk to. Like me, like I had to make music for me. Like, and if I get rich off this shit, like dope, but I have a whole nother like mission in mind, and people get like killed for sharing too much on social media. Like people get taken for sharing too much on social media. Like this shit is like dangerous.
It's dangerous also.
Yeah, but like it depends. Like it go from you sharing your location all the time to you sharing too much of your own thoughts. Like it can both like stab you in the back like over time. So I like, you know, even in high school, like, you know, we didn't really take like note of like what we were saying online, arguing with people, like just some stupid shit. Like, why are we doing this? It's like this is our character, not only like online, but like this will also define us as a person overall, like to an extent. You know what I mean?
We
But
gotta think about it in terms
yeah,
of
you gotta
think
before you speak on here.
Think before you speak. Tam, I'm gonna have you chime in onto this, and then I'm gonna finish off the rest of the panel with our final question. Tam, can you share too much online?
Yeah, of course. I feel like you can share too much online, especially like I feel like you got to keep some things private. Not everything you have to share for the public to see, because then what is left for you to keep for yourself? Because now everyone knows. So I just
So what are the boundaries? Let's be specific.
I mean, like, you know, a lot of people run to social media about their relationship problems. A lot of people run, you know, to social media, again, like he said, you can get killed sharing your location too much or being too flashy on social media. You know, like we've all seen, like in the case of like Pop Smoke, you know, those kids found his location and you know, he's gone. So you have to think about, you know, those things. Sometimes I post,
Especially when you're a public figure as well.
yeah, yeah, and then like you have some people that do post about their mental illness, and I mean, yeah, you can raise awareness, and some people have that inside of them where they have to just show it, you know, share it to the world because they may not have nobody else to talk to, so they want to put it out there. But I feel like you got to have some things to keep for yourself, you know, and not everyone needs to know your every move, because that's sometimes how you can get messed up with posting things. And you can block your blessings with posting a lot of stuff.
It could be the downside of it. You start talking crazy, you get out of pocket. Man, all right. They saying JoJo got one more time to yawn. It's okay. We get into our last. It's okay. We get into our last question. Don't you worry. It's the shade for me. All right. I know. This is a last minute. It's okay. Does it bother you? Now let's be honest here. When a post or project does not go as expected on social media. Now let's really be honest. I'll be honest first. Yes, I for my ratio for my subscribers and followers, if it's in like 50 or different things like that, depending on my ratio, then yes. If it be under 100, I'd be like, I don't know, because the numbers matter, and then I have to sell my page and I have to sell my platform to other people. So the numbers is what they care about. You have to sell your analytics, so it's a lot of things. So those numbers do matter in that way. Now, in the general sense, I think people are posting, then okay, I can only speak for myself. But John, does it bother you when a project or post on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, any platform project doesn't go as expected?
Oh, I guess this is the takeover. It's my show now.
All right, take us away.
What I was going to say was, I mean, it's kind of almost inevitable, especially if it's something you work really hard on. I feel like probably all of us here can get it, that you can work for put so much hours, so much sweat into a piece of content, whatever that is. And then if it quote unquote flops, then that can you can take it to heart, of course. But I feel like that's an interesting question to be asked right now in my life, because as of recent, I've kind of been attempting to detach myself from, feeling some type of way if shit doesn't go as well as expected. Because I had my best TikTok I wasn't going to post because I thought it was stupid. And I still kind of think it was stupid. It was basically I make a lot of videos on TikTok, and most of it's fun random facts. And the one fact was a roller coaster in Disney World helped people pass kidney stones. And I was like, this is what is my content here? And it got millions of views. And I was like, holy, that was random. And it took me maybe 40 seconds to make. And then on the flip side, like, you work really hard on one piece of content and then it flops. I don't know. I mean, I
It
think
chimes on the overthinking aspect of it. When you're just putting something up there because I'm creating content or something you're passionate about, or just because, it's those things that we overthink or that we're betting on, that in our minds, it's like maybe just because it's so special to me, or I'm like, oh, this is it. It may not be. But it's always those random moments where you're like, I don't even know if I'm going to post this.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I've been kind of trying for my own mental health to step back and be like, why does it matter if it does? I mean, obviously, making it a career is one thing, but why does it matter so much to me if something I worked really hard on doesn't get what is socially acceptable on social media?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you create, money comes involved in it. It's a lot of different things. It's still, when you bang on social media, it's still a job as well. Yeah. And, in a lot of fields, they don't come and take away. It is not a give and take. You're not waiting on a check like this. So it definitely varies. So that's interesting to say as well. Danielle, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Jonathan. Something I need to work on is like kind of detaching myself from my content. When I'm like producing episodes, I've had a couple that like I thought were going to be like hits and they don't get the downloads I expect. And like, God bless producer Jack. I know I've talked about him a lot this week on social, but like he has also helped me to realize like not everything is going to get the numbers that I want. Like it is just a number, but also kind of what you talked about with you have to sell your analytics. You have to like look at your engagement rates and all of that. And that's something where it's been like tough for me because like, yeah, sometimes like it's okay if something flops, but like, for example, I'm trying to pitch my show in the fall to like Barstool and a couple other media groups. Like I need the engagement to even get my foot in the door with them. So I think that's something that's tough because like I'm so hard on myself with that because I know the content might be good, but if your numbers suck, it's
because you're still banking on it. So it's a different, and it does matter. You can have the best content in the world, but we don't all get discovered on the street. We got to submit, we got to do, yes.
And it's a coin toss. Like I personally love my content, but if my numbers aren't there, the person at Barstool might be like, oh, like her numbers suck. Maybe let me give it a listen and try. Or he could just be like, her numbers aren't as good as the numbers for like Plan Brie Uncut. So like, you know what? Fuck it. Like we're not even going to listen to her show.
Yeah. So it pushes you. And, it's always the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the numbers. Numbers are never going to lie. So when our platforms do get there, it is going to show in the numbers. But it's still something that we think about. Chris, Fit, how you feeling? You're growing your fitness. You're rapping. You're making music. I'm like Q. I'm sensitive about my shit. I'm just like, I'm sensitive about how I do my stuff. But how you feel about this?
First of all, I want to say I love this question because, like, wow, this came at like the perfect time because I'm creating new stuff every day, and shit, I'm the same way like y'all. We're all artists, if you ask me. We're creators, we're artists, and we are sensitive about our shit because it's very personal. And I'm in between the point of like, yes, I get upset about it. That's my answer. Yes, I get upset when something doesn't go as I want it to because I'm sensitive about it. It's personal. I'm like, I've bought into me. I know this shit is dope.
You invest.
Shit, yeah. I feel like Drake. I need acknowledgement. I know it's dope, but I want y'all to acknowledge that this is dope. This is some cool shit he's doing. Yeah. And it just affects you a little bit when you don't get that. But I'm in the process of working through it. Like, and what helps me is that I'm so invested in it. Like, this is dope. Like, I know like I'm a dope individual and I work hard at it every day. And it's only a matter of time before opportunity, meets preparation. And you just got to see it through. Like you have to literally fall in love with the journey in the process.
So do it bother you when it don't go as expected?
Yeah. I'm working on it, but yes, it do. Like it really.
How will it make you feel?
Like I'm not being acknowledged. Like what the fuck are these people blind? Like this shit is dope. Like from the music to the workouts to all of it. Like shit, I've done a little modeling. Like I went and bought new clothes and tried out new hairstyles, cut my shit, grew it back.
If I'm spin, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay.
But people don't think about that. They think you just and you over here like, I got this fit on over here. The hell? If you thirsty yourself posting it at 7 a.m, like, okay, maybe this ain't the time. But it's a lot of curation that goes into it, but everyone's laughing because we get it.
Yeah, like I know y'all like in those analytics like that will piss you off impressions and people actually clicking the links and just engagements. Like it'll drive you nuts if we look at it too much. Like
Yeah,
it's definitely
hard.
frustrating.
It's hard in growing and building. So let's go ahead. We're gonna try and Q. How you feel about this? You create. You're an artist. You're a rapper. You just dropped a video. I know how it'd be. Let's talk about it.
That shit will never bother me. You know why?
Why?
Because I've accepted that this world likes fast food, and what I mean by that is they like the shit easy, simple, and like just noticeable. I guess like everything organic gets overlooked, and that's why I love being on this show because there's not one person here that isn't talented and doing like amazing shit like for themselves and other people, and you can let it bother you. You can complain. You can vent. You could focus on like the haters and shit. But honestly, like if you don't know yourself and choose happiness through your craft, you're always like doubt something. You always feel like, oh man, like
if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, specify. So like if you're doing your craft for the wrong reasons and not for the love of it.
Yes, exactly. Because you have to look right now. Like it was 1017 right now. My angel number, like that, it's confirmation that I'm just on the right path and I'm choosing what I want to do because I love what I do. If you don't love what you do, like don't do it because people won't give you that love that if you don't give you yourself that love through your craft. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like
you a prime rib in the whole world of McDonald's.
Fuck them if they hating this cool. It's in my music.
Rib. Period.
It's in my music. Fuck them if they hating this cool. We got momentum. We on the move. Like everybody got it, and everybody gonna get it. But
did it ever bother you at one point?
It bothered me because I didn't understand like what.
So walk us through how you changed your mind. So if somebody's like, I'm on social media, it gave me anxiety in the morning. It's fucking with me. Q, I hate. It's not going good. I'm just. Walk me through how you changed his mindset.
I don't know. Fucking.
How did you? What did you think about? Tell us for real.
I mean, I just always think about it's just more I can do. Like you know what I mean. Like and divine. I believe in divine timing. Like maybe right now I'm supposed to get overlooked. You know what I mean. Like maybe right now I'm supposed to not get these opportunities because like I got something better coming. Like I haven't heard anybody tell me my shit's trash yet. And even if they do, I'll just take that as motivation and it's just more fuel to the fires and make me do what I love because I know what my heart is set on. Like I just can't. You just can't let anything, no post, any project, if it doesn't go expected as you wanted to. There's always just a next level to go and to succeed at. To be honest, like I changed my mind because I had to. You know what I mean? Like I'm living
to survive. You got to get it. You got to get it.
Exactly.
So you got to psych yourself out to get where you at. Jocelyn,
exactly.
Let's talk about it. Does it bother you when a post or project doesn't go as you envisioned or as you planned?
It still does. It used to a lot more. It still does, just off of like what Jonathan was saying, as in like when you work like 3-4 hours, like I'll work like 3-4 hours on like a 30-second makeup TikTok, and
yes, TikTok is hard.
You know, 10 views, and then I do a stupid one of a voiceover with my, just sitting there, and it gets, like 200.
I look like a ragamuffin, and everybody wants to give me a bunch of views. It's
right?
Like, what's going on?
So,
yeah.
And then it's like those ones that do good that are small, like nobody follows you off of, So it's kind of like a hit or miss depending on, what platform you're on. And I've also, like I said, used to bother me a lot more because I've realized that I could also kind of like what Q said, like I could put more work in on my end. And like, also I can't think that way. Otherwise, like, it's going to make me sad to where I'm going to be like, well, fuck it. I don't even want to produce content and I'm just going to hold myself back. So I also kind of had to like, just realize, like eventually I'm going to get there because I'm never going to stop. So that's kind of like what keeps my drive, is more like, I just know who I am as a person. And like, I'm not going to give up at something that like I've been doing since basically 2014, but just never really pushed too hard like I want to, you know, in the past like year or so. And just really like wanting to take it more serious. So it definitely, like I said, still bothers me if I put a lot of work into it. You know, if it's just like an Instagram picture or something like that of the makeup I created, I don't take it too hard anymore just because I know how the algorithm is working and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
all platforms, they keep switching it up and making it a little bit harder for people to see you. So I was actually just talking about this earlier with somebody, like, you know, just because you think people aren't supporting you, like they could just miss the post. You know, people do have stuff going on in their lives as well. And when you're building up, you're
And you be sitting there watching, waiting, and it's just like motherfuckers at work.
Right. And
People got to drop their kids off.
Right.
Auntie and grandma, cousins didn't like it yet. It's like,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, and sometimes the likes come later, you know, like you do a stupid one and like 3 days later it blows up for
That's
whatever
TikTok.
reason.
That's how it works.
Whatever
Yep.
algorithm, yeah. So there's things like that I try to keep in mind and just like not beat myself up when it doesn't do well, because I know that eventually by the time that I'm fully probably detached from it bothering me is when you start probably doing well and like you start doing better.
That's
But-
how it always
That's
is.
facts. That's facts.
Yeah, the numbers matter though, just to get yourself like a deal or, you know, Barstool to approve you and be like, yes, I want to, you know, I want to take this girl, because if you're selling yourself, you're selling a product, they want to see the numbers because they care about the money.
And
Whether
numbers still don't lie. You know, it's like we're still constantly creating. I know I haven't found my niche 100% yet. I know that I haven't still put in as much work as I still could yet. I know it's still a lot of improvements I can make. So within money, resources, all those things, of course, those things come. I'm going to go ahead and just finish us really quick with this question for whoever wants to chime in. We're about to close in. Does social media affect your mental health? Livy Rose, I'm ready for you to go ahead and chime in. And then whomever wants to take this after Miss Livy. Does social media affect your mental health? And just chime in for us.
I think it does. I think personally, I've experienced a lot of bullying online. Part of it has to do with you as well. Like, I know that there are days where I should just put the phone down, and I have a hard time doing that. And that's something that I'm working on, because my instinct is to rant on Twitter, which is a bad idea. Don't do that. And I think that it can affect you in more than just, you know, somebody who's bullying you. It can affect you in terms of you're using it as a tool, like an unhealthy tool to cope. And there are definitely better tools to cope, especially if you struggle with a mental illness or something of that sort.
It's harmful, I feel like, to my mental health. For me, I can't pick up the phone if I'm like still half asleep or like not sleep, or I can't look at my text because it makes my anxiety go awry. Like phone calls, different things I have to do. Like I'm one of those people where they be like, don't look at your phone. My therapist be like, don't look at your phone first 30 minutes, whatever. It's hard, but like I can't look at it in the middle of the night because then I'm like, oh my God, I literally like, I can't do it. So we take social media breaks, we do those different things, but let's talk about it. John, does it ever affect your mental health? When we do this, we take this in, you know, we commit to doing YouTube, we have a TikTok to pop off, we commit to doing something, so we have something good going for us. People expect things out of us. Does it affect our mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's kind of layered where it's like you're expected to, I mean, the mental health coming from the hustle culture, which is like, I need to stop doing the air quotes. The hustle culture, which is like, you know, constantly pumping out content and just kind of proving your worth and what you can provide for people, your followers, your viewers, all that stuff. And then you kind of have the other side where it's like social media leisurely, where it affects your mental health in a way of you like constantly comparing yourself, whether that's what you look like, the makeup that you do, your body, all of that shit. It's just kind of like, and then constantly criticizing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely not healthy. Yeah, I think it can definitely take a toll on the mental health. I know for me, like what I do for work in my personal, like, cause my work that I do is broad. Like I work for a lawyer and I do a lot of their social media. I work for a life coach and I work on a lot of their social media. So I'm constantly in the world. That's
that
my
universe
work.
of social media.
Yeah. And kind of going to the point of what you were saying of, you know, when you wake up in the morning, I have really, I don't know how I did it. I like woke up one morning and I was like, you know, I'm done scrolling. Cause for those 30, 40 minutes you're laying in bed scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, is it doing anything positive for you? Probably not. I mean, maybe it is depending on the accounts you're following, but for me, it was nothing memorable was sticking. Nothing good
It was for fun. It was the same feed. Yeah, we don't have a different morning feed for an evening bullshit feed, you know?
Exactly. So I've been taking my time in the morning. I'll wake up, I'll turn my alarm off. I'll check my text if there's anything going on, usually not. And then I've kind of, and it's been almost about a month that I've been doing this. I like meditate kind of, and it's been really helpful.
So what made you stop? What made you be like, I need to stop doing this? Did it get overwhelming for you at one point? Did you overload or what made you want to make the switch?
All the above. It was like burnout. It was overload. It was constantly like comparing. It was like, where am I now that I was last year on the same day? Like, yes, I've grown in like followers, but like mentally, like, where are we? What are we doing? Like, I kind of checked in with myself and I was like, when was the last time I took like a minute for myself? And also I turned on the notifications for the screen time. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Horrible.
That shit was scary.
Screen time being like 8 hours a day. I'm like, we on a shift on this phone. I'm like, how? I'll be the first person to say it. I'm sure somebody's is higher than 8 hours than mine, but you know, give or take. It's like we do YouTube, we edit, we do all kinds of stuff on our phones. Okay. But it's still, I feel like it gets in our physical space. Chris, I'm curious to hear from you. Does it affect your mental health?
I'm gonna say absolutely. And first of all, I want to say you did an excellent job with these questions, like especially with this.
I'm glad for social media. Oh, thank you. Okay,
give it up for the
I'm glad it worked out good. It got me thinking. It's just something different today, you know.
No, yeah, I love the questions today, but I'm gonna say absolutely yes. And it's I want to say sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse, because just like Jonathan said, like a lot of times it's like what you follow. Like a lot of the stuff on my personal page, because I have a personal page and a couple business pages. A lot of the stuff on the personal page, it's a lot of motivational stuff, like quotes and like speeches, and that does me a lot of good. But it's like on the other side of that, like with the artistry and then the stuff I post, it's like I'll share like personally, like for me it's fitness. Like a lot of my stuff is fitness, and just naturally with genetics, I'm not as lean as a lot of other people. I'm not 10% body fat or 12% body fat. You don't see my abs, you don't see all of my muscle, and then sometimes it can turn into people thinking I don't know what I'm talking about. I went to school for 4 years.
So you're saying that people looking don't understand the different body types or the one way that a body could look. But we assume it's the one way for women with, you know, getting this different surgeries, different procedures. Take what you like. But for men, it's still like when I see you do your workouts, I'm like, you represent most of the men that I see, my partner, a lot of people I know, like we're still healthy. You know, we're still working out, but people, it's one way or the highway almost, and it feel like it messes with me. I can assume it messes with you too.
Yeah, and I just want to piggyback on one thing off of what Q said. He said people are simple. People want to see what look good, and that's what I had to like really realize and understand. Especially with the science of it too. Like my genetics are different, but I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've been doing this since I've been in high school, working out. Like
It's a passion,
yeah. So.
And you're saying you know what you're doing, so
I know what I'm doing. I went to school for this. I'm about to go back to school for this.
Hey, new for this. You tutor this, so we know it affects our mental health. Anybody else want to chime on this before we get out of here tonight?
Yeah. I agree a lot with what Jonathan said. I think it's tough when you're kind of just feeling like you have to crank out content at all times. I do think it ends up affecting you. I'm like the queen of burning myself out. But I think part of it is you have to kind of recognize when it's like time to like pause for a second. Like I was supposed to record 5 episodes this week. I got through 2 of them. And then I was like, you know what? Like these are going to be like shitty content because I'm like not in it right now. I'm exhausted. I can't make any more content.
Sometimes it's better to just put it off a couple of days and maybe feel a little bit bad about it, but for it to be better outcome.
Quality over quantity.
It is. It's hard though, because it's the expectation. Sometimes we do have to cancel. Sometimes we do have to adhere, you know?
Exactly. And I think that's the thing too. And like I've been doing like a couple like serious like things that are important. So I needed to kind of take a step back and realize like, okay, if I want this to really impact people and just do quality work, I need to like stop for a second. But I think it also just like the anxiety of always having to post on social media, always having to like have stuff at the ready. It's hard. My Zoloft has helped and it has made me a little less anxious about all of this. But I just think overall, like, you do need to know when it's time to take a step back. And I also wanted to say from the beginning, Livy, let me catch whoever the fuck is bullying you on Instagram, because I will go full demon mode on them.
People be tripping.
Nobody's bullying me now, thank God. I'll tell them.
Oh,
I'll be like,
well, no. If they do it, I'm coming. I am coming.
Keep coming. We ain't bullying them out here. The Nightcap Crew come get your ass. All right, y'all. On that note, don't you bully the Nightcap Crew. I want to give a very, 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 very special thank you to the panel tonight. We really put our foot into it. We switched it up. We talked about something different. A big thank you to our special guests at My Name's Jonathan Carson.
Thank you for having me. This has been great. This has been fun.
Thank you so much for being here. Let them know one more time where they can find you on social media, wherever you want them to find you.
Pretty much literally across the board at Hello, My Name's John.
At Hello, My Name's John on Instagram. And he got the link tree. It's easy for y'all. I know I had to put links and posts, so it's easy to find. I promise. Shout out to at Q Suave, at Danielle M. Hair, at JoJo _6 times, at Libby Rose 97, and at Fit Hollywood 6. Again, this is the At the Nightcap Crew.
If I'm spin, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends.
And we will see you guys here, same time, same place. Link is in the bio somewhere, 9 to 10:30 EST. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Get your beauty right.
If I'm spin, I gotta pay for some friends.